So before diving deep into the operations that can be performed on a two-dimensional array, let's recap a bit what exactly is a two-dimensional array. So as we have already said, a two-dimensional array is an amalgamation of multiple one-dimensional array. Now what that means is, in one-dimensional array, we saw that it is having only one row with multiple columns. But in case of two-dimensional array, we typically have more than one rows, 3 in this case, and multiple columns. So now we can always ask a question that why do we need a two-dimensional array? Is there any situation where two-dimensional array works and one-dimensional array does not works? Of course, there are. We will talk about it in lot of details when we are talking about dynamic programming chapter. So as of now, please keep that question on hold. We will revisit this question when we are learning dynamic programming chapter. Now, one more important thing to note here is, in one-dimensional array, we have one bracket, whereby two-dimensional array is always represented with two brackets. The first bracket indicates the row number and the second bracket denotes the column number. But in case of 1D array, since we always have only one row, so this represents the column number. So let's say if we want to access this cell over here, it will be represented by row number 0, 1. So we'll say ARR 1, which is the row number, and column number is 0, 1, 2. So we put 2 over here. So now that we have seen two-dimensional array at a very high level, let's see what are the operations that we can perform on it. So similar to a 1D array, in case of 2D array, there are 3 steps involved in creation of a array. So the step 1 was declare, that is, we declare a reference to an array. Let's say our array name is ARR. So we declare a reference variable named ARR. The next step is instantiation of an array. So in this step, compiler creates an array and assigns the address of the first cell to the reference variable. So let's say this is the array that gets created having 4 cells in it. Now remember that though it is a 2D array, at a memory level it will be saved as 1D array. Now why is that? Please go back to the old video, we have an answer there. Now let's say the address of this cell number 0 is 111. So the reference variable over here will store the address of that cell, that is 111. With that we get a link between this reference variable and this actual array. Now the next step is we initialize it by a default value. So by default, if it is an integer array, compiler starts a value with 0. So right now it comprises of 0 value in all these cells. But let's say we want all of these cells to be initiated by a default value of -1. In that case, we run a loop and we initialize the values to -1. So creating a new 2D array is as simple as that. So now let's see what is the algorithm to do all these 3 operations. So when we are declaring a 2D array, similar to a 1D array, we first say what is the data type. It can be integer, float, double, etc. Then we put 2 brackets over here indicating that this is an array reference variable, and finally we give the name of that reference variable, which is ARR in this case. Now once the declaration of the array is done, we do an instantiation of the array. So for that we have to call new, which basically tells the compiler to allocate some space. Now what kind of space? it will be an integer type. And these two braces over here tells the compiler that it is an array which is having 2 rows and 3 columns. Now once that array is created, the reference of the first cell gets assigned to ARR. Now once the instantiation is done, next step was initialization. So we can say array 0 0, that means row 0 column 0 value is 10, row 0 column 1 value is 20, row 0 column 2 value is 30, and so on. Now similar to 1D array, we can merge all of these 3 statements into one. And if we do that, this is how it looks. So here we are saying the type of the array. These 2 brackets over here tells the compiler that it is a 2D array. ARR is the name of the array. We see that we have 2 braces over here which are inside again one big brace. So the first brace over here, these items will be stored in row number 0. All the items in the second braces will be stored in row number 1. So we can see that there is a very interesting similarity between 1D array and 2D array. In 1D array, we had only one braces over here indicating one row. But in case of 2D array, we can have multiple braces indicating multiple rows. And of course, the 2 braces over here tells the compiler that it is a 2D array. Fine. So now that we have seen what is the algorithm, let's see what is the time and space complexity for this operation. So since a declare statement is just one statement and it is not in proportion to the size of the array, it is an order 1 time complexity. Instantiation is once again an order 1 complexity because that is not in proportion to the size of the array. However, initialization will take m into n complexity, and the reason is m is the number of rows and n is the number of columns. So if we want to initialize all the cells, in that case we have to traverse to all the cell, that is m number of rows and n number of columns. So the time complexity becomes m into n. Now interestingly, the last statement where we are combining declare, instantiation and initialization, it will take order 1 complexity because it is a one single statement where neither we have to go to all the cells or the statement is not in proportion to the size of the array. Hence, it is a order 1 time complexity. So that is all for this video. In the next video, we are going to talk about how can we insert a value in an array. Also, we'll see how to traverse a 2D array and search for a value in a given 2D array. Thanks for your time. See you in the next video.